just sat beside me, just watching what's going on. I think I'm too close. I think we're too close, pussycat. Shall I try there? Is that better? Is that a better one for us to do? To be sat this close like this, is that better? With you right next to me there, and then I can see you there, and you can see me there. Hey, is that better? Now then, I've got a totally out of colour pair of earrings with what I'm wearing, simply because my little grandson chose them. I was wearing pink ones to match this, and then he told me to change them. He's only 2-year-old. These are little, that's better. They're actually clay, and they're rather sweet, with little stones in them. And on the other side, just the pattern goes right the way through the clay. And I got them in this kind of cheap shop in northern France, and they were I think they cost me about £1.50, which in American money it might be about $2, which I thought was rather nice. I do like them, and I think it was that gave me the incentive to get some of the clay and start making earrings, but I haven't got that far. I've got the clay, but I haven't made the earrings. I did start making the earrings, but I didn't get very far. Now then, what will we talk about, eh? What should we talk about? Well, I'm just putting up 2 videos today. Sorry, I've been chopping my hair. I put the little one in the bath and I'm standing there chopping my hair because it was irritating me, and I didn't have time to go to the hairdresser, so I figured, right, I'm going to chop it, and if it needs finishing off, it's going to be finished off later on, probably tomorrow or whenever. But right, well, and what can I talk to you about? I could talk to you about, I don't know what I could talk to you about. I'm busy uploading a film, as I've said. This isn't straight. Did you notice that, pussycat? It's not straight. So me and her will have a little chat, will we? Will we just talk about what's going on in our lives? Oh, well, I've got fat lady's ankles. Yeah. At the moment, I have very fat lady's ankles. You don't want to see them. No, but I'll tell you why. It's a long story, so you might want to pull up a chair and get a cup of coffee. Do you think you should get a cup of coffee? Hey? Anyway, a long time ago, about 10 years ago, I had a dog and I used to take her for walks. And then one day, she was usually very good because she never went on the lead very often. But this particular day, I took her on a walk to a part of the walk that I'd never been before. And it finished by going down a steep incline through 2 gate posts. No gate was there. And within a few yards, that led to the road. So I was a bit concerned in case she was a bit of a lively working cocker spaniel, and I was a bit concerned in case she would run onto the road. So I decided to put her on a lead, but she pulled me down through the gate. She was so excited, she pulled me down through the gates, and my leg, that's my leg, and my knee goes that way. When I fell, my knee didn't go that way, it went that way. And I actually thought I'd broken it, but I've never broken a bone in my body before, so I was kind of laid on the ground, but I managed to get myself up and I hobbled home. And I didn't think I'd broken a leg because I thought, well, maybe I might have heard a snap or something. But unknown to me, I had torn my meniscus in my knee. And it got better. I just rested. I didn't go to the doctors. I'm a little monkey for not going to the doctors to get things checked out, because I think, oh, it'll be fine. So I didn't go to the doctors, and then about a year later we went down to visit some friends, and our friend said, should we go for a walk? And we always went for walks, took the dog with us, and we went on this walk, which was about a 6 or 7 mile walk. And by the time I got to 6 mile, I had hit a brick wall, and I just said to my husband, I said, I'm struggling to get to walk here. And when I got back to their house, my knee was really, really sore. And when I said that I had a torn meniscus, I didn't know then that I had a torn meniscus. But so anyway, it was really, really sore. And that night she gave me some stuff to rub on, which made me hallucinate all night. And I dreamt I was on a roundabout, and it was one of those roundabouts where the swings were on, and the faster it went, the more the swings went out. And everybody's heads kept falling off, and all the blood was going everywhere. And I thought, oh my goodness me. It was funny, wasn't it? Anyway, the next day I got up and my leg felt a little bit better. So the girl, our friend, said, do you want to go for another walk today? Do you think you could? If not, don't do it. And I said, oh, I'm sure I'll be able to go for a walk as long as it's level, as long as we're not going down or up. Well, we went on a walk, and guess what we did? We went up and down. So by the time I got home, back home to our house, my leg was absolutely going berserk. And then my leg got bigger and bigger, and I got these blotches on my leg, on both legs. My left leg got really big, my right leg swelled a little bit, but the left leg swelled a lot. And from the knee downwards, if I got a blotch on one part of my knee, I got a blotch on the other leg. A blotch on one part, a blotch on the other. So I ended with about 20 blotches, red blotches, red lumps. And they were very painful lumps. But the left leg that had the sore knee was worse than the right leg. And it just felt like I'd been stung by, every lump felt like I'd been stung by a wasp. So then I went to the doctors, because my husband had been creating hell and saying, will you finally go to the doctors? So I went to the doctors, and the doctor said, oh, well, what you have is erythema nodosum. And that usually is related to some underlying cause. She's just checking you out there. She's checking you out. Oh, you couldn't pick a closer place to put yourself, miss. So anyway, the doctor said it's usually an underlying cause. So she took some saliva from her mouth. She took a blood sample. And then she asked me to go for an X-ray, because sometimes it's tuberculosis that causes it. And I went for all these tests, they all came back negative. And she said, well, we've had a discussion with all the doctors, and they can't seem to see anything wrong. And so we don't know. Can you see me? Do you know what it is? She's chasing that. You can see the screen, can't you? And it's me. It's me in the screen. Yes, it's me. Oi! Get off! Just attack the camera. Come on, off there. Come on, off there. Will I move it? No, it's just me talking. So anyway, so they said, will you stop playing with the camera? Go away. Go on. So, come on. So it's me. Will you stop attacking this camera? It's me. Yes, it's me. I'll put it there. Come on, push you off. Oh, she doesn't like me sometimes. Sometimes she doesn't like me. So, she said, well, we've discussed this with the other doctors, and they've said that they can't find anything wrong with you. And she said, how do you feel? And I said, well, I feel absolutely great. except my knee. My knee is the one that hurts. Here we go again, she's come to see me. My knee is what hurts, and she just ignored me. So anyway, she said, I said, well, what's the cure? And she said, you just got to rest. She said, rest, put your leg up, and take some paracetamol on Nurofen, and it will get better. It may take about 3 months, 2 to 3 months, but it will get better. So I did that. I came back, had to put my leg up. I was in agony for a month or more. My leg swelled up. It had been swollen rather, and it was quite painful. So then it eventually went, but I still limped a bit. I still struggled to walk. And a year ago we went away at Easter, and I was in such agony I had to buy a walking stick. And my husband said, you just can't go on like this. And I knew I couldn't, because I thought, well, if I'm like this at my age, what am I going to be like in another 10 or 20 years? I don't want to be in a wheelchair, and I don't want to have to be pushed around everywhere. So I went back to the doctors, and the doctor said, well, we can't refer you anymore to physiotherapists. You've got to ring them up and they tell them what the problem is, and they will discuss whether they think they should see you. So I did that. I rang the physiotherapist. The guy assessed me over the phone and then said, come in. Then he examined me and he said, I think you have torn your meniscus on your knee. And I said, well, what happens there? And he said, well, you've just got it. He says, it might never repair. And he said, basically, you've got to build up your muscle around your leg, because we don't do operations now on knees. It had just come on the news that they were going to try not to do knee operations and hip operations. And to be honest, I didn't really want a knee. So he said, it's building up your muscles. So he gave me some exercises to do to build up my muscle in my knee, and I did them. And then he sent me to the gym to continue doing these exercises. And I think that was around about May last year, and by June or July I was actually feeling a lot better. My knee was functioning better. Still a slight limp now and again, but I was definitely walking better. Bit annoyed because I can't walk the distances that I used to like to walk, but at least I'm still getting about. So then, fast forward to a month ago, 3 weeks ago say, and 3 weeks ago my legs were back to normal, everything was fine. 3 weeks ago I was hanging a mirror on the back of the door of this shack, whatever you call it, sewing shed. Oh, I've got a name for it, which I haven't done a sign for. What was it? Some Superman thing. Do you know? I can't remember what it is. Anyway, I was putting a mirror on the back of the door because we had some IKEA mirrors that went on brackets. And I said to my husband, I said, I think I'll put a mirror on the back of the door. And he said, well, I'll do it for you. And I thought, no, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to tell him. Oh, here she comes. I thought, get off that camera. No. She's trying to eat me. So I started hanging this mirror on the wall, and I had it on two little brackets. Will you get... Oh, she's turned me upside down now. How do I get that? How have you done that? How have you turned me upside down? Is it that one? Is it that? No. How do I get you back upside down? Hang on a second. I'll get back when I can. So I started hanging this mirror, and I had it on two brackets. And then as I turned to reach for the other two brackets, it fell off the door. And it shot down, straight down, came down. There's my leg. Came down and glanced off my leg and went like that and smashed. But when it glanced off my leg, it hit it badly. It really hit my leg badly. In the same place as I had a scar. Now, go back 10 years. I'm dangerous. I really am dangerous. Because about 10 or 12 years ago, we had taken the television off a stand and bought this nice television unit. And we put the stand outside the door in readiness to put it with the refuse. Well, this particular night, it was dark and I was coming out of the house and I was going to go to my shed. We call it shed number 1 because I used to do my jewellery repairs there. And I stepped out in the darkness and caught my leg on one of the prongs that was sticking out like that, and my leg caught. And it hurt. And when I looked, I was wearing trousers at the time and it hadn't torn the trousers. So I thought, oh, that's really hurt. And when I lifted my trouser up, I had this enormous gash that ran down my leg. And I shouted up to my husband, I said, Brian! And he immediately knew there was a problem and he came flying downstairs. And I had this big gash on my leg, and he said, right, come on, get in the car, I'm going to take you to the hospital. He gave me a tea towel to wrap around my leg. And we're in the car going to the hospital, and I had my leg raised up onto the dashboard. And I'm holding my leg and I'm going, hurts like that, doesn't hurt like that, hurts like that, doesn't. And he was going, oh, for God's sake, will you leave it alone? So anyway, when I got to the hospital, bless him, he must have been a doctor that had been on all night, because he was high as a kite with something or other. He was foreign, he was Dutch or something, or Swedish or something. He was a very nice guy, but you could tell he was high on something. And he stitched me up, and he had to do internal stitches as well as external stitches. So that had healed, and when this mirror dropped on my leg, it hit the scar tissue. It didn't cause a cut, but it hit the scar tissue, and it really hurt. And I thought it was quite funny, because although it really hurt, for the next 2 or 3 days it hurt, but it didn't go black or blue, and it just kind of, nothing happened. And then all of a sudden this lump appeared at the side of it, and I thought, oh golly, is that an abscess? And then another lump appeared further down my leg. Then another red lump appeared. And then when I looked at my left leg was getting the red lumps again, and I thought, oh no, here we go again. I've got erythema nodosum, and there's no point in going to the doctors, because she had said that there's nothing you can do, just got to take Nurofen. You'll have a big fat old lady's leg for a month or more, and eventually it'll get better. So I have a big fat old lady's leg. Do you want to see it? No, you don't. I'll take a picture of my big fat old lady's leg. But it looks awful. So, but fortunately, I think it was at its worst 2 days ago. I could not sleep, and I was up till about 3 or 4 in the morning. It was hot, it was painful, it was just yucky. And what on earth are you doing? She's trying to catch you. She's trying to catch me in there because there's things moving. Is it because there's things moving there like that? Oh, she's not looking now. Are you looking? There. Ah. There. It's there. It's there. It's there. Ha. Ha. It's not behind it. It's here. It's here. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. Can you see it? There. Yeah. Yeah. Ha. Ha. You should see it. She's absolutely funny. What's this? Anyway, so I have this very painful leg, and it's, sorry, my cat has decided that she wants to put her arms around this camera. Will you get off this camera? And I'll show you it. This is Erythema nodosum. Can you see how it's so fat that it's just like this is I had a scar there, I had a scar down there which you can't see, and the mirror hit there and glanced off. That's the red lump there, and I've got red lumps around here. I don't know if you can see, red lumps there, red lump there, red lump there, and this one is really swollen. Now that's enough, you don't want to see anymore. But I feel fine. Apart from, oh, do you know what are you going to stop it? But apart from that, I feel fine. So if you've ever experienced erythema nodosum, I do wish you'd leave this camera alone. If you've ever experienced erythema nodosum, it's awful. You will know what I'm experiencing. And those of you who haven't, just thank God that you don't have it, because it is awful. It really is. It's I'm wearing long trousers right down. Fortunately, I've got some tracksuit pants that I wear that are bell bottoms, and they cover my feet because it's not very nice. Not very nice to see. And anyway, so I think I've turned a corner. Will you leave that alone? I think I've turned a corner because I think it's getting better. And at least it feels like it's getting better. And gradually, I'm thankful because it's the beginning of June, and I do not want to have big swollen legs in the middle of the summer. So I'm hoping that by the end of June, everything will be back to normal and life will resume in the best way it can, with normal old ladies' legs. So anyway, I'm sure I bored you to tears with all that, and my cat's just about to swing this camera around if you're not careful, so I guess I'd better go. So till next time,